Welcome everyone to Game 3 in a best of 3 series between Fnatic's TT1 and Evil Genius's Idra here on Metalopolis. Game 1, if you guys are watching this out of order, I am going to spoil it for you guys, so I suggest you guys go watch the games instead. First of all, Game 1 going to Idra in pretty convincing fashion. Game 2, on the other hand, on Tall Dream Alter, TT1 able to execute a very well-timed 6-gate push off of 2 bases, stalkers and sentries with a lot of energy meaning force fields split up all of those roaches, and an army divided is an army conquered. TT1 quickly getting up a pylon here, should be getting up a gateway and a cybernetics core in just a moment. This is going to be a full cross spawn here on Metalopolis, so Idra has to feel pretty safe about trying to establish an early expansion here. Also, we'll have to see what exactly TT1 is doing. TT1 this time around should not be able to do a fast expand. Excuse me. TT1 should not be able to do a fast expand or a forge fast expansion, and we'll see whether or not how he tries to build it instead. There is going to be a drone now trying to make his way down. I think he was just feigning that he was trying to go for an early hatchery, and we may see that spawn or pool extractor build that is so common from Idra. Idra changing it up, not trying to go for crazy macro anytime at all, as I need to set up my away message. So yeah, there we go. The probe finally making its way up. An extractor should be built in just a moment, unless he's trying to go for a pool hatch and delaying that metabolic boost. The probe is going to be taking some damage right as it gets taken down, and in comes a pylon. So that pylon going to even delay further the hatchery from being placed down. We should see an extractor as a response instead, as the drone finally making its way down. And is it just going to sit on the ramp? I'm not 100% sure. There we go. The pylon is in position. It wasn't canceled. So the Zerglings now need to come into play. 24 seconds, I believe, for a Zergling. You can finally see that extractor now coming in, and Idra's build orders is very significantly delayed. If you don't know, Idra really relies on very strong execution of his build orders. That's one of the reasons why he is such a strong macro player. He knows his timings to the T, and this one pylon, although it may not look like much, is forcing Idra to sit on right now 400 minerals instead of being able to set up a hatchery. And this hatchery, which would be normally halfway to 3/4 of the way done, now finally being placed down. Idra going to be behind a little bit economically, and that may translate into TT1 being able to get a stronger economic lead. You can see that TT1 going more of a tech side, as he is currently getting up sentries. He is not chrono boosting those sentries. There is a drone now trying to sneak its way out, and it can mineral path its way through, but we'll see what's going to be happening. The sentry should be able to chase after that drone rather easily, unable to get that extractor block any longer, as the sentry does have a nice ranged attack. We'll be able to get some damage onto that drone. Trying to get some damage onto that drone. The drone down to 18 hit points already. Another round of attack, but I believe the Zealot will only be able to get 1 round of attack in there, as a second gateway now warping in. We should be seeing either a robotics facility, a Stargate, or another gateway, and it is going to be a 3-gate play coming in from TT1. The hatchery about to be completed, needing another 20 seconds or so, as the Zerglings are making sure that there are no proxy pylons being hidden in another location here. We are going to have that drone now trying to hide out over here. It's not going to be successful, and now quickly taken down. Production wise, you can see 3 gateways will be up and running. Still a lot of sentries being trained so far, and all of this off of one base play. Essentially, you can train up 1 or 2 sentries every minute, even with a chrono boost. Off of 1 base play, and then save up a lot of minerals for a Nexus. You can see a 3rd base already coming in from Idra, so Idra definitely trying to catch up in the economic game. You can see how even he is right now. 29, now 30 drones. Will quickly get up to 35, as well as he is power droning his way through. Zerglings quickly spotted the Nexus, and that's exactly what Idra wanted to see. He wanted to see TT1 going for a Nexus, and knowing that it is not going to be any sort of 1 base play, but TT1 is also making a move with these sentries, zealots, and a probe, so this may be a 3-gate pressure expand. So a 3-gate pressure expand may cause this hatchery to be cancelled, but I do believe this one hatchery should be able to stay up and running for quite some time. That is a lot of sentries, but the sentries do not want to try to engage, as the roaches, if they're able to swarm in, are able to take down a lot of those sentries rather easily, especially when they are fighting on creep. So the sentries are now backing off another gateway here. It is going to be 4-gate play in just a moment, as TT1 still chrono boosting, now sitting on 33 drones, but Idra sitting on 41, soon to be 50, as he is now training up 7 drones at a time, now down to 6. Yeah, soon to be 51 in about another 25 seconds or so. Or sorry, 17 seconds or so, as Idra not relenting in his macro, and you're going to see this food number just jump absolutely astronomically high. We may even get up to 100 food count before we hit the 10-minute mark. The sentries are playing a very, very nice game of defense so far, and we are getting, what, 4 gateways currently running in. Also, the supply depot trying to get taken down will quickly get destroyed here. And perhaps another building will be placed down here just instead. And weapon upgrades, I don't see anything. Meanwhile, we are getting an evolution chamber now. Zerg is now sitting out front as well from Idra. Idra with just a small tactical force, as another hatchery coming in by Idra. So Idra sitting on 75 over 86 food, getting the pneumatized carapaces, getting the glio reconstitution, and with his hatcheries, now getting a lot more larvae. You can see that number just quickly jumping up. He should be able to either power drone once more or try to go into heavy roaches. We'll see what his long-term strategy is. We are seeing the Zerglings deciding to back off. The sentries and the stalkers are making their way out. Level 1 weapons upgrade nearly completed. Pneumatized carapace, glio reconstitution also making their way out. So this may be a repeat of the Tall Dream altar that we saw on in game 2. Roaches need to be trained up rather quickly, as TT1 does have a very dominating army at this time, and he needs to get a lot of damage dealt with this army. Otherwise, he's going to quickly fall behind, as Idra, sitting on such a strong economy, will quickly be able to pass him, and he does not engage. TT1 choosing not to engage. Those spine crawlers would not have been done in time, and I believe the window of opportunity has now closed for TT1. Those roaches, oh, all the drones quickly getting canceled, or canceling those spine crawlers there. The drones now trying to make their way back down, as the sentries and the stalkers now back over here. You can see the drones now looking, now building another hatchery. So we are going to be running off of 4 bases by the 12-minute mark in this game. A third base now being established by TT1 as well. Army-wise, still slightly larger for TT1. Food-wise, a 37 food advantage for Idra at this stage, as we are also going into the Ventral Sacks. Level 1 missile upgrades about to be completed, and 7 more roaches and a Hydralistan. So this may end up being Roach Hydra Doom drop into the base. TT1 with not very much anti-air defense as well. And the drop would make him completely vulnerable. Probes now trying to set up some pylons over here, as this hatchery is about to be 2/3 of the way completed. Overlords also doing a nice spread as well, as you can see how much map presence Idra is currently holding. Stalkers now making their way in, getting some damage onto a Zergling, but that Zergling able to escape at 6 or 5 hit points, now finally backing off once more. An Overlord has quickly suiciding its way in, getting a good mineral site. Here, he does see the level 1 weapons upgrade. The Stalkers may be able to finish it off, down to 5 hit points, but Idra's pneumatized carapace Overlord able to sneak by, and by the air in its carapace, yeah. Bad joke. Anyways, as we are seeing TT1 sitting on a lot of probes, 68 probes off of 2 bases compared to Idra's 78 off of 3. So Idra not really getting any further behind, as we are now going into double extractor play at the 4th base. We should see even more extractor mining off of here, as Idra could perhaps be relying on a lot of gas. You can see the amount of gas that he's currently has collected so far, and it is going to be a drop. More and more Overlords are going to do a nice pickup here. Where are those additional Overlords, as the Roach is perhaps going to try to do a 2-prong attack, hitting this side over here while doing a main drop here. And I love this play by Idra. Idra now expanding into drop play, and this is going to work as a distractionary tactic. There's one photon cannon currently over here, and what those roaches are going to end up doing is just pulling the army away. And you can see the Colossus of TT1 and the Stalkers and Sentries now trying to pull away as the main drop now coming in, and you can see the army is now trying to split back, come back over as well, but so much damage is being dealt. Some buildings already destroyed over here. The roaches now going after the Stalkers over here. Not much happening, but the roaches are continuing to battle it. There are a lot of Stalkers. The roaches are unable to engage, and they need to back off. They are simply getting taken down way too quickly. Perhaps going after the Nexus or any other probes would be a better choice as opposed to dancing over here. And Idra losing a lot of his forces without really dealing too much damage. You can see the losses so far slightly higher, but as these roaches are going to get cleaned up, and as the Stalkers finish off the last of those Hydralisks and those roaches, you can perhaps see a little bit of damage has been dealt. There is one Zergling trying to get some worker kills. We have 17 worker kills though, so those were some Zerglings getting into the mineral line here. And 63 probes versus 80 drones. We are going to have another rinse and repeat on this drop once more, but it's going to be dropping straight in time as TT1 does not see this Overlords now coming into play, and this is once again going to be a problem as those Stalkers need to walk back up that path. The extended thermal lance range upgrades have been completed. The sentries now out of energy, and TT1 with only one sentry left. That is going to be very problematic as Idra now cleaning up the last of the sentries, and production-wise, 9 more roaches now going into the Zerg flyer attacks. Hydralisks now still being added. They are all being queued up into here as more and more units are still being dropped. Hydralisks once again trying to re-engage. There is one observer, and Idra finally deciding to do a tactical retreat as he has lost more units in this battle so far, but he has been able to keep TT1 on one base play and also hurt his economy significantly, sitting on 80 harvesters compared to 72. Idra now getting very close to 200 food count, but I haven't seen him do any baneling bombing runs. That would actually be a very successful tactic. There are 3 overlords with roaches. These roaches may try to drop straight into the back of the base here. Level 2, did we get the level 2 evolution missile upgrades? I do not believe so. I believe that is the level, is that the level 2? I can't recognize the icons. I fail as a caster. Okay, I'll have to see. Oh yeah, drop over here. Oh my gosh. Let me go ahead and rewind the video. So it is going to be another Droom drop now coming in. So Idra doing 2 drops at the same time. You can see that the sentries are trying to make their way in. The roaches are upgraded 2-1. So those roaches are going to be able to 2-shot any probes. Stalkers and Zealots are engaging as another drop happening in the 3rd base here. The roaches are getting in a lot of damage. The photon cannon needs to get taken down. It looks like it should get taken down in just a moment. More of those roaches just need to push their way forward. And now going after the Nexus while those probes are still available. You can see Overlords are hanging around over here. The Colossi now making their way over. The Nexus is not going to... Oh, may actually get taken down. So down to 278 hit points. And now another base has been destroyed. And Idra getting the economic lead on 81 harvesters versus 61. And the walk of shame mining by TT1. Overlords still hanging around over here, figuring out, hey, if I, drop some creep, maybe these probes will slip. Not likely to happen, as now Hydralisks now dropping into the base once more, and it looks like the Stalkers are trying to warp in time. They are going to warp in, but a Zealot going to get quickly destroyed as more and more units are coming in. Probes coming off the mineral line, and now it's going to be a counterattack by TT1. TT1 does have the larger army at this stage, but there are Corruptors as well. Roaches, Hydralisks now battling it out. Corruptors getting some damage, but no corruption as it is currently on cooldown. Hydralisks now trying to finish off a last of these probes over here as the main attack force. TT1 is currently sitting on 1-1 upgrades production-wise. Now going into 3-2 upgrades. The Corruptors trying to come in, trying to finish off the last of those Colossus there. Corruptors, a lot of them in the air, going after those units. And now Spine Crawlers even joining in on the fight. Hydralisks very fast on creep. And there's the GG. TT1 losing game 3 here to Idra on Metalopolis, and I love this play by Idra. Idra absolutely looking like the S-Class player that I know he is and can be, doing multiple drops in multiple locations. If he introduced a Nidus network play or even Baneling bombing runs, that would be complete brilliant style. But I really like the fact that he, instead of just trying to run and break through that front door like he did in some of the other games, especially Mana versus Idra in my Clan War tournament, game 2 on Shakura's Plateau. If you haven't watched that, go ahead and check out that game as well. But he did really just change up his strategies. He had the economic advantage, he had the army advantage, and he did a very careful calculation in knowing that as long as he lost more units but did more economic damage, he would ultimately come out in the end, and that is how Idra won this game. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay and game 3 in this best of 3 series with Fanatics TT1 versus Evil Geniuses Idra.